Hello everyone and welcome to the Starladder Starseries Season 5 Game 3 of Day Number 2 Mousesports vs. 3D Clan. I'm Kanaz. I'm going to be covering this game for you guys this afternoon on this lovely Saturday. 3D Clan going to be on the Radiant side. They have first pick this game. Mousesports taking up the Dire. First ban coming out from 3D going to be Wisp. And Mousesports quickly respond with a Batrider ban. So both heroes that teams just don't seem to really want to deal with at the moment. And 3D also going to ban out the Keeper of the Light. So they're choosing to ban out some of these supports that have sort of been known as of late for being really annoying. Wisp and Keeper of the Light, both supports that have just great global presence. With Keeper of the Light being able to really facilitate split pushing through the use of his ultimate with the recall ability, and Wisp with his ultimate being able to just take a hero with him anywhere on the map and line up some sweet ganks. Last ban coming out from Mousesports is going to be the Nyx Assassin, pretty much the premier support right now for tri-lanes. Just so powerful with his ability, his survivability with Spiked Carapace. Just so much to deal with. Most teams are like, nope, get out of this game, banning him out, and we'll see that again this game. 3D Clan gonna respond with their first pick, the Magnus. So just a really powerful team fight hero that's kind of been a staple in the metagame for quite some time now. And we're gonna see him get taken out here, or picked up right away by 3D Clan. Mousesports, they're gonna use their first two picks to go with Gyrocopter and Darkseer. So, Gyrocopter, a hero that's pretty versatile in how he can be laned. If you want to play him as a support, that's certainly possible. If you want to play him as a carry, that works too. He can go solo mid if you want. And we'll see how they end up using him here. It's hard to tell early in the draft. But I think Mousesports typically are running him in their tri-lanes. Darkseer, just a really powerful laning hero. Great on the map, good in team fights. And really strong hero overall. He's been in the metagame for like the last year now, since he sort of kind of got discovered a year ago that to be really good with all the overpowered buffs to wall. 3D Clan gonna choose Lifestealer and Rubik as their second and third pick respectively. Lifestealer, really powerful carry, and Rubik a hero that we don't see as much as we used to, but does typically get played as a support now, as opposed to the solo mid role that we saw him around the time of the TI2 last year, where we got to see some real big plays from Rubik, but still really a great hero, even as a support without the farm. Third pick from Mousesports, it's the guy who's just showing up in all these games now that he's finally allowed in tournament mode. Silencer. We'll see how they decide to run him. Last game we saw him used as a support hero in the tri-lane. I don't think it was the Silencer not working out well that really led to the results of that game, but we'll see if Mousesports try and use him in the same strategy, or maybe they want to send him solo mid here. Heading into the second ban phase, we're going to see Brewmaster banned out by 3D Clan right away. Brewmaster, not exactly the kind of hero I would have expected them to ban out. We did see Brewmaster as a support in a tri-lane. Maybe that's the thing that teams are trying to do more often now, and 3D Clan is considering that. But nonetheless, will not be in this game, gets banned out. And Mousesports respond with a Chen ban, taking out a jungling hero. Maybe just figure that 3D Clan don't really need another support to sit in lane with Lifestealer and probably Rubik. And just gonna drop anything out that they can. Venomancer gonna be the fourth ban now from 3D Clan. Really powerful support hero.
Mousesports turn to ban.
Really powerful support hero that we don't see too much anymore. We did see him earlier in the day, and he was really good in that game. Venomous Gale at level 1 is just such a powerful slow. It's terrible to deal with. And Mousesports then going to ban out Vengeful Spirit and then Visage. So Visage, another hero we don't see too much. And it looks like both teams just banning out supports that I don't think are as conventional as maybe they could be. Last ban going from 3D Clan is, of course, the Enchantress. So just a jungler. Pretty aggressive jungler that I know teams have been running more and more often lately, and they're going to choose to take that out. Fourth pick now, coming out from 3D Clan, they're going to go with Leshrac. This is a really good support. Kind of fell out of favor for a while Jakiro was the big man with all those buffs to Ice Path. with some nerf dice path comes back down to a realistic level, and as a result, Leshrac now getting back in this pool. Fourth pick from Mousesports gonna be the Faceless Void. So it's gonna be their tri-lane carry, their farmer. Faceless Void, we saw his power last game. Even if it didn't work out the best for them, Faceless Void is just such a powerful hero in teamfights with the Chronosphere. There's nothing you can do about it. You get put in a Chronosphere, BKB won't save you from the Faceless Void. And now 3D Clan looking for their last pickup. You gotta imagine it's gonna be another solo. Leshrac can solo, but typically not how we see that hero played. It's certainly possible though, if they wanted to go for it. Kinda doubtful. So would expect to see a hero that can go mid or in the offlane role, depending on what they want to go with. They could even go for something pretty farm heavy, like even the Lone Druid if they wanted to, who has still made it through this pool. Or like maybe a Weaver. I don't believe it does. I do not believe Lincoln stops Silencer ulti anymore. I feel like I checked it a while recently and it didn't work. They're still looking for their last pickup now. I still think it's going to be some sort of offlane hero. And they end up going with Tiny.
Mousesports turn
so Tiny, not a hero I was considering. It's certainly possible they can send Tiny into the mid lane to just solo up against whoever ends up being there. And then that leaves Magnus to go the offlane, and then a tri-lane of Rubik, Leshrac, and Lifestealer. We'll see if that's what they end up going for, but Tiny, really not a pick I was expecting.
10 seconds remaining.
Mousesports not looking for their last pick.
5 seconds remaining.
Silencer actually isn't as good against Tiny as he used to be, because he no longer has the aura that interrupts in between spells. And the last pick from Mousesports gonna be the King of the Sand, the Scorpion, Sand King, coming out there as their final support probably. So that means we're probably going to see Silencer run as a tri-lane support once again. So a hero we haven't seen it too often. Yeah, but you guys are still assuming Silencer's going to be mid.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
It isn't Fata their mid player? Whatever, we'll see how they land. Ah, yes, I suppose it's also true that Tiny might not be mid. It's certainly possible. We'll see how they end up landing it. There's a lot of options for both teams, depending on what roles they really think these heroes belong in. You got to expect that the Magnus and the Darkseer, respectively, are both going to be soloing somewhere. It's possible 3D could just run double dual lanes with this lineup and split the supports with the Tiny and the Lifesteal, however they decide. We'll see what they end up going for. There is a pause. Doesn't seem like there's any real explanation for it at the moment. Nobody's disconnected. And person whose name I can't remember. Oh, let's pause. There we go. His name of the scoreboard is dot dash comma dot dash colon dash. It's a good name. It's a classy name. So we'll see how long this pause ends up being. Hopefully not too long. And unfortunately, there's no real explanation for what we're waiting for, so we'll just get to sit here and wait for it. Kurokai picks up the silencer, so we are almost certainly going to see that as a support. Here we go, back in the game. So we'll go over the heroes, who they're playing. They have the dreaded Greevil with the Cyrillic name. So we have Dread on the Leshrac, Shrefik taking up the Tiny, Solo on the Rubik, Nexus on the Lifestealer, and Lolik on the Magnus. It looks like all the heroes from 3D are heading into this top lane to try and set up, so probably going to have some sort of aggressive trialing coming out from them. From Mouse's side, we have Black taking up his Gargoyle on the Faceless Void, Alex on the Sand King, Fata on the Gyrocopter heading towards that mid lane, Kurokai on the Silencer, and Paz on the Darkseer. So we're pretty much going to see the Silencer as a support here, with Fata mid on the Gyrocopter, and you got to expect that Darkseer is just going to head to the off lane on Darkseer, and he in fact does. Lifestealer gets thrown in by the Tiny. I'm not sure if that's exactly what he was going for, but it is what happened. Does a little bit of harass to the heroes from Mouse here, but uses up almost all of Tiny's mana. So, kind of a strange play there, but that's what they end up going for. They're content to just run now. They already blocked the pull. No Sentry Wards up from Kurokai on the Silencer. And also none Sand King, so that pull is going to be blocked, at least for the moment. See how they end up deciding the lane. This looks like Rubik and Leshrac are camping mid, maybe trying to go for a level 1 gank on this Gyrocopter. Does look like Tiny's going to be mid. And solo bottom Magnus. So this is how I figured they were going to lane.
First blood.
And Leshrac gets a kill on Silencer. I don't even know what Silencer was doing there. My bad for missing that. I really assumed they were going to go for this kill on Gyrocopter, which is obviously what they were trying to do, these two. But Silencer wandering around gets caught. And so the majority of the two camps in the jungle, both pulls, for the dire side, get blocked there. And Silencer's not going to have any money. This actually doesn't block, apparently. That one will, though. They will use another ward, because apparently this one didn't block, and it seems like they thought it would. Huh. I would have thought this blocked, but I'm terrible at warding, because I can never figure out where they're going to block. I place wards like this all the time. Curse of the Silent going to come out from Silencer just being annoying. Leshrac can't do anything about it. And a telekinesis from Rubik, not really going to be an efficient way to remove it at the moment. Actually ends up using way more mana than he would have lost, just taking the curse duration. So this Trilane versus Trilane is pretty interesting. It seems like 3D's is probably a little bit stronger. They do have the setup from telekinesis into the Split Earth from Leshrac. But we'll see how Silencer ends up being utilized in this lane if he just keeps spamming curse. Looks like he was going for it, and it does go. Hits it on 2. And he's just going to sit there and spam curse with the clarities, it looks like. But because Silencer's kept so far away from this lane, Sand King is a melee hero. So he's not really going to be able to put too much pressure on the heroes from 3D here. And that's going to result in Lifestealer being able to get pretty decent farm. Black is still out last hitting him. And some of that probably has to do with the fact that Black is pretty good at last hitting. Quick check on how the other lanes are going. Magnus doing pretty okay. Up against the Darkseer, they're about even. And in the mid lane, it looks like Gyrocopter is pretty much destroying the Tiny, just because he's ranged. I hate this faceless void face with the hole in it. Looks so goofy. Mouse trying to pull from the big camp. Looks like they just miss. Rubik walks inside, gives some sight to these creeps so that they will come back. However, that will pull this creep wave back in the tower so Black can farm it safely. Gyrocopter finds a haster in the bottom river. See if he ends up doing anything with it. It looks like he's trying to rotate around to go for a gank on this Magnus. If he kept going, he might have been able to find the courier. But it looks like he's just giving up and heading back towards his middle lane. So continuing to just have a farm off. Neither tri-lane really even looks like they're really considering going on the other. Both are just like have supports watching. As the carries just farm next to each other. Fortunately, with the creep equilibrium out this far, it's hard for the supports on Mouse's side to really get in position. And they are able to deny this catapult. Which is going to be good for 3D. It's going to make sure the creep equilibrium stays pretty close to there. They're going on Black. I don't know if they're going to be able to go get him. There's some blocks. He's down to like no health and waits way too long to time walk and gets punished. Alex gonna get picked off as well. Realizes that he's too slow to get away. Goes down, and now Kurikai taking a lot of damage on the silencer. Will be able to get away. So kind of awkward play by Black there. Wanted to conserve mana, I guess. And ends up dying for it. And that's going to give Lifestealer definitely the advantage in this lane. Finishes up his tread, so it doesn't look like he's going to be going for a Midas this game. See if Black decides to. On his Faceless Void. With that death, it's going to be really far off. See how Tiny's doing mid. He's bottle growing, realizes he can't really contest runes. If he gets caught out by Gyrocopter, he's probably not in a good position at the moment. But soon. Ever sooner. He will be able to just basically burst down the Gyrocopter if he catches him out in the jungle, out in the river anywhere. Rubik continuing the wards, still no wards coming out from the Dire side. Pretty surprising to see Mouse doesn't really care about warding at all. Maybe just because Gyrocopter has been capable of just wandering around finding runes. Invisibility rune is bottled. And the rune spawns top. It looks like Tiny's gonna get that one. He does know it's there. The ward was up.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And it looks like they're going for another kill. The stun misses on Silencer. He will still go down, but able to get off some spells because the silence miss, or the stun miss. Looks like they might get a kill on Black as well. But Gyrocopter ports in, uses the call down, gonna lead to 2 kills there. So the revenge kill is coming out on the Rubik and the Leshrac. Silencer ports back in. Did he buy back? No, that was just a respawn. What level is the Silencer? Only level 3. Oh, he's walking back.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, 3D are rocking the double couriers so that there's a dedicated bottle crow. So Tiny not doing terrible in this mid lane, is definitely behind. And Kurikai comes into this middle lane, it looks like, to try and do something to the Tiny. Tiny gonna get hit by a rocket now. It looks like Kurikai will be able to get away. And no bottle here by the Tiny. But is gonna get the kill on Kurikai before he goes down. Uses the wand, throws Silencer into the air, and manages to get that kill. So at least get something out of it before he dies, I guess. Lifestealer gets a kill on Faceless Void in the top lane that I missed. Black getting caught out over and over again in this top lane. Didn't catch it in time. He's trying to check this bottom lane, see what's going on with these two. They're both just farming. The 2 highest CSers in the game are both in this bottom lane, just farming next to each other.
Top tower has fallen.
And not a lot going on. They managed to get this tier 1 tower down in the top lane. Looks like rune spawn on the bottom. It's an invisibility for someone to go grab. And black still has nothing, just being completely shut down. Of course, I go back to the top lane, and I miss rotation from Tiny to get a kill on the Darkseer in this bottom lane. So, reverse polarity used for that, but Darkseer was faring pretty well, and shutting him down a little bit is going to help. Looks like an invisibility rune picked up on the gyrocopter. Trying to go for a gank on this Magnus, but Magnus is not having it. Looks like he's going to start heading back. Gyrocopter might be sweeping around to try and catch him. The Bottle Crow is coming for Magnus, though, as well as a salve, so he will be at full. And Fonz is just heading back towards this middle lane.
Middle tower is under attack.
We have the Edict from the Leshrac, as well as the Toss from the Tiny. Going to make quick work of this tower. There's a call down being used, though. And it looks like it's probably going to lead to a kill on the Leshrac. Maybe the Tiny as well. And it's a double kill. Tiny immediately buys back, ports into this middle lane, knows that he's got support here, coming in from behind. And Mouse should have been suspicious about this. Tiny taking a lot of damage, but looks like the supports are going to go down here. Kurikai killed by the Edict from Leshrac. There's an immediate pause by Rubik. It looks like Alex on Sand King is also in quite a bit of trouble here. LOL, LOL, sorry. Okay. What's up? Well, the Lifestealer disconnected. That was kind of the issue. And we're ready to get back to it. Looks like Gyrocopter's in a bit of trouble here. Gonna have a Rubik toss to him, and then a Fade Bolt. But that doesn't mean the Sand King's going to get away now. Unless he gets caught up by this Tiny. He's gonna bottle. I'm not sure why he paused running. If he had continued running, he probably would have found the Sand King. Gonna throw a Naix at him, I think. And that's gonna be that kill. Easy kills for the Rockman. And with that, we'll take a quick look at these experienced gold graphs. See what's going on. We're at about 2,000 gold in favor of the Radiant for experience, as well as about 4,500 in favor of gold for 3D clan. So definitely getting the best of these rotations, up 10 to 5 in kills. There's a missile coming, homing in on the Rockman's location, but he isn't going to really care too much. Manages to get back to the tower. It's only a level 1 missile, so it doesn't really do any damage. Alright. And I miss kills.
You lose face.
So Tiny gets a kill on Gyrocopter in the middle lane, and at the same time, Faceless Void uses his ultimate, manages to get a kill on the Naix in this top lane. So a lot of kill trading going on in this game, especially by comparison to the last two. They've been relatively quiet. Just more aggressive lineups really coming out on the side of 3D, forcing fights all over the map with this Tiny pick. In the middle lane, he gets fast levels, he's rotating around, just trying to gank. Looks like Darkseer is going to get away with that TP. And Lifesteal... Oh, I thought he actually used reverse polarity there for a moment. I was like, oh god. Time Leap actually stolen by Rubik. That's going to probably set up this kill on Fata. He'll be able to do a pretty good amount of damage with the call down and almost getting away. But Lifesteal will be able to finish off that kill. Sand King doing a bit of damage here. Lifesteal taking quite a bit. Going to be forced back with the rotation from Darkseer, as well as Sand King. And now finally Silencer. Curse of the Silent stolen. Only level 1 by Rubik. And Leshrac standing in the middle of the fight, taking a bunch of damage here. Gonna get hit by that last word. Probably gonna go down here. Will go down. Silencer being able to steal a little bit of intelligence there, but does get killed off on his own. And now Darkseer trying to get away. The Surge is gonna wear off, and with that, he's probably gonna go down. Magnus picks off that kill with the Shockwave. Another teleport coming in. Gyrocopter on the respawn throws a homing missile away of Lifestealer. Again, only level 1, not going to do any damage. It's also possible he'll just rage it when it gets close, and in fact does. And then goes to farming. Let's see what Void's done. Still just has treads up to 1700 gold. See what he goes for. But not having a great time this game. He's died a couple times. Take a quick look at the scoreboard. Faces Void sitting at 1 and 2. Not great for him. So let's look at Silencer's skill build.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So he's actually maxing Last Word, and only has 1 in his other 2 skills. So with all the Silencers we've seen played, they've all been leveling their skills differently. Maybe no one really sure exactly how they want to see him played at the moment. I think getting at least 1 point in Glaives of Wisdom is probably right, especially if you're going to be involved in a lot of fighting early. Being able to steal that intelligence is definitely important. And 3D look like they're going to go for this top lane. Magnus gonna port in, uses ultimate, there's a Nake's Bomb, 2 heroes going down immediately, and Fata forced to just teleport out. No stuns, so they're gonna get away, but do lose Void and Silencer from the Magnosaurus and his Nake's Bomb. Rubik looks like he's gonna go down in the bottom lane in the meantime. Let's see, steal something. Oh, he stole Ion Shell, which is definitely gonna go down. Ends up getting picked off by the Ion Shell from the Darkseer. This is the best of one, sir. And another pause comes out from Magnus. And Lifestealer just connects again. So Lifestealer definitely having some internet troubles. Not sure if he's gonna be okay. He should be able to get back in a moment. Still nothing up on this Tiny. Take this opportunity to give a little look-see at these experience gold graphs. It's about 7,500 in favor of 3D Clan for experience. Gold, just a little bit more than that. So still just maintaining a lead. Lifestealer makes it back in. They're ready to go, waiting for Mouse to confirm that they too are ready. Mouse don't feel like it. There they go. Tiny and a bunch of tiny illusions, which aren't very large by comparison to the real Tiny.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are
It's weird. So Mouse rotating into this middle lane. Almost looked like they were considering going on the Tiny and 3D. Blink Dagger mechanism done on Magnus. Blink Dagger and Tiny. Nothing really on him. Only an armlet, I believe. As well as a Mithril Hammer now coming up from Lifestealer. So we'll probably see him go for the Desolator soon. Meantime, I'm gonna get empowered by the Magnus, probably level 2. And looks like Rubik's gonna get caught out here. The Global Silence comes out, gonna lead to a bunch of damage on the Lifestealer. Should be able to get away. Gonna get silenced and disarmed though by Last Word. Walking away and gets hit again. And looks like he's gonna go down. So double kill going the way of Gyrocopter here. Last Word gonna silence Magnus. He's forced back. And Dread on the Leshrac caught way out in no man's land. Tries to do as much damage as he can, but 4 heroes right on top of him. And a triple kill now for Fata on the Gyrocopter. He's up to 1900 gold. Doesn't have really anything picked up yet. See if he just goes for a Ring of Aquila and then maybe a drum. Magnus trying to get away. Gonna get caught by the homing missile. Now gonna get hit by Rocket Barrage, taking a ton of damage. Has a double damage rune. If you can bottle a little bit here, might be able to get this kill. Just be careful not to get hit by another Rocket Barrage. Lifestealer gets a kill on Darkseer along with Tiny. And now they're rotating in to maybe try and support. And they're going to fight Sand King. Sand King has to be careful here. Going to go for the stun and gets the kill on Magnus. And it looks like he's going to be able to get away. Tiny gets the kill on Gyrocopter, but a Surge stolen by the Rubik. Leshrac showing up. Going to deal a bunch of damage to Alex, and the Tiny tossing Leshrac up there. Make sure the Sand King doesn't get away. Unfortunately, 30 seconds until Leshrac can port out.
Radiant's top tower is under
So really just kind of chucking him under the bus. Or onto the cliff in this instance. Make sure they get that kill on the Sand King. So anytime Mouse is able to find a couple kills, it feels like 3D is able to just find him right back. Leshrac still just stuck up here. 1 second, and TP off cooldown. It looks like he's just going to port all the way back. Gem now picked up on Tiny. Just to make sure that he can always kill that Sand King. As well as D-Ward. Which is almost certainly more of an issue. 1350 gold on Maze. Probably expect to see him go for something like a Blink Dagger next. Just so he can be even better at initiating in these team fights. Just looking at this silencer and how dead the silencer would be if he had a Blink Dagger.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Looks like Fada is going for a BKB now. Sharpie got this Tiny taking a lot of damage. Here comes the Faceless Void ult. It's going to catch 2, but the stun, Split Earth, and the big reverse polarity hits 4. There's a toss. That's a double kill with the Lifestealer using the Infest. Sand King tries to deal damage, manages to pick off the Tiny, but 4 kills going the way of 3D there with the huge reverse polarity. Were those buybacks? Buybacks? Maybe not. I thought I heard a buyback noise.
Dire's middle tower
But just
is under
a fantastic reverse polarity coming out from Magnus there. Completely turns that fight around. It looked terrible, but the Tiny was just able to survive long enough. And Silencer gonna get taken out as well. Does do a lot of damage to this Rubik and actually almost goes down. Gets saved by the mechanism from Magnus. And that's gonna lead to this tier 3 going down. I don't think they're gonna be able to take the barracks. Might try for it, but it does seem real risky. Comes the call down. Gonna probably lead to a death on Rubik. Rubik doesn't in fact go down. Trying to go for this fight, and Fada's gonna go down. Sand King gonna try and his ult, gets his ultimate off, and then gets skewered down by Magnus. Great play coming out from Lolik here. Completely negating the Sand King ultimate, just pushing him out of the fight. And now Fada respawns, actually, maybe on the buyback. Buyback. And now Alex gonna get punished for all of his cheeky play. Gets away, just barely. But the melee Rex still stand. 3D, pretty good condition to continue going at it. And reverse polarity gonna be up in a couple seconds. Shouldn't be too long. Only a couple seconds for Chronosphere as well. But the melee Rex do look like they're gonna go down. Here comes another call down. And here comes the Faceless Void Ult as well as the Vacuum, pulling all of the heroes right into the edge of it. And all 3 gonna go down basically instantly. Here comes another reverse polarity though. Gonna lead to, oh, the backtrack from the Faceless Void. Make sure he dodges the Tiny Toss. And that's gonna be 4 kills going the way of Mouse for no retribution at all. And Leshrac getting the kill on 2 now after the buyback and the return. No dodging this. And Tiny just starting to wail on people with those big stone fists. Leshrac gonna get hit by a homing missile. Probably nothing gonna come of it. As well as the last word, and now a Curse of the Silent. Taking a lot of damage. Just be careful, and the Urn charge from Silencer gonna be his death.
My intelligence grows.
So Mouse claiming a bunch of kills there and able to defend their barracks. They also won't be able to get this gem if they are looking where they're walking, which it doesn't seem to be the case at the moment. Someone will notice it eventually, I'm sure. Looks like the courier's gonna grab it. And we'll see who that ends up on. You imagine someone's gonna want it just for dewarding purposes? Otherwise, why wouldn't they just destroy it? And they give it to Silencer. So he's stolen 24 int. Just being alive and around in these teamfights is leading to a ton of intelligence steal from him. And here comes the global silence along with the big vacuum. Unfortunately, Chronosphere is on cooldown this time. Senking does get his ultimate off into much greater effect this time, leading to a kill on Magnus by the Silencer. And with a surge, it looks like Senking might get away. Just barely killed, double kill with the toss from Tiny. Senking immediately buys back. Lifestealer looks like he might go down. Armlet Toggle does keep him alive for the moment. And Lashstrike immediately runs in, trying to get this barracks down. A toss from Tiny deals a bit of damage to the Gyrocopter, but they're just not able to finish off the job in these barracks. It looks like they're just going to give up on it for now. So Mouse really just holding out, keeping their barracks just barely alive. Both the range and melee well below 10th HP.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Oh, range
is
just
under
above the
attack.
10th HP. Excuse me. Tiny has something coming to him. Let's see what it is. It's a Force Staff. It's not really normally what I would expect to see on the Tiny, but he does pick up a Force Staff. It's going to give him even more mobility. If he catches out this Gyrocopter, he's probably just going to be able to kill him. Fortunately, there are other heroes around. And it's going to be a little bit scary. Senking, though, out in no man's land is a
Radiant's
much better
bottom
target.
tower has been denied.
And he's getting away. Force Staff. Trying to catch up and then forced back. Magnus in a kind of awkward position. Gonna have to skewer across the river. Does in fact do that. Some mana boots come off, restoring Tiny's mana so that he can do something again. And it looks like 3D is grouping up. Maybe just try and push down this middle lane one more time. The barracks are real low, and if they all go in at the same time, you got to imagine they'll at least get the barracks down. But Chronosphere it does come up just now. And their lead is dwindling on this game. Gold's still pretty well in their favor, but the experience with all these kills and these fights starting to go back the way of Mouse. Senking gets a stun off, but it's in kind of an awkward position. Gonna get his ultimate off. Nothing to stop it, but ultimate not really being used to great success because he can't really go into the Chronosphere. Looks like the reverse player is used and only catches really the Faceless Void, and they're not even able to kill him in the middle of that. Senking stun stolen by Rubik being used in the middle of these fights, but Rubik will go down here. And 3D just forced completely back, not able to get any kills. Lifestealer even going down to Silencer. Hunter's grabbing a ton of kills here. And Mouse able to defend once again. Even grabbing 3 kills for none in that fight.
Dire's top tower.
So now's the time we gotta start questioning if 3D need to keep going for this. Can they should just be farming and not just feeding back all of their gold to Mouse? If they aren't able to really get in there and finish off the barracks, if they just keep throwing themselves at it, doesn't mean they'll necessarily win. Even if they get the lane down, if they end up losing all of their golden experience lead to this Faceless Void to do it, they're not really going to be in that great of a position. With only one lane down, Mouse can easily come back. Darkseer has his mechanism up as well as Plate Mail. Probably seeing him go for a Shivas, but still quite a ways away. Senking has 1800 gold. Still nothing picked up at all. Maybe just hanging on to buyback. Knows that if 3D run up this middle lane, they go down. They need to be able to buy back. What is his Maelstrom? He hasn't gotten anything else beyond that. Getting closer and closer to his BKB. Only about 1500 gold away at this point.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Lifestealer has his Desolator, but it doesn't seem like he's been able to do much with it. Fortunately, with the Global Silence, he hasn't been able to use Rage in fights when he needs to, and he's been getting picked off. Does look like 3D push in mid a little bit just to get Mouse grouped up back there. And now they're going for this kill on Roshan. However, Mouse is close enough that they might be able to contest this. They gotta know what's going on. They smoke up to try and get there as quickly as possible. And 3D forced back.
Tower is under attack.
And the Blink Skewer Reverse Polarity comes out from the Magnus, going to do good damage, takes out the Silencer before the fight even starts, but they're taking a ton of damage from Fada and the Faceless Void, and the Sand King ultimate, and 3 heroes go down instantly. Lifestealer not in a good position either, getting chased. So even with the great ultimate from Magnus now, the bigger teamfight ultimate's coming out from Mouse. And Tiny gonna go down there. Not sure why he ran if he thought he needed to help the Lifestealer, but it looks like Lifestealer's probably gonna go down here as well. All the rage in the world is not gonna save him.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And another big fight won by Mouse, only losing the support Silencer for all 5 heroes of 3D Clan. And now with Roshan at about half health and winning that fight, it looks like they're probably just going to roam back over there and take it for themselves. Three know what's going on. It looks like they're walking up like they want to contest it, but I don't know if they're really going to ever be in a position to do it. Mouse may be realizing they can't do it quickly enough, backing off a little bit, and now recommitting. Black just getting bashed out of his mind. Constantly being forced to tank. Roshan not letting anyone else know. And Age is picked up by Void now. He has enough money for his BKB, so he's going to be even harder to deal with in these team fights, and with the kind of luck he's been getting on some of these backtracks, probably going to be really difficult for 3 to deal with it, and they've even evened up the kills. Sad to look at these charts, I'm sure. Experience dips 7,500 in favor of Mouse. Gold almost approaching even, only about 5,000 in favor of 3D at this point. But this experience change is huge. The support Silencer has finished up 4 staff. And he's stolen 32 intelligence. So that's a huge amount. He's able to even do pretty decent damage in these fights with Glaze of Wisdom. He doesn't have it maxed quite yet because he doesn't have the levels. But definitely being a big contribution in this team fight, even if he's just getting his ultimate off. That last fight he was able to get it off just before he died, and that's all he needed to do.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
The Blink Dagger up on Sand King now. And Warlock really just, or did I say Warlock? 3D really just getting pushed out of this game now. Completely just stalled out, turtled against. Went with the method of trying to push into a Darkseer, and were shown the door by the incredible turtling power that could come out from a Darkseer, as well as like a gyrocopter. It's even to some extent Sand King, Faceless Void. It's really hard to take high ground against these heroes. Looks like we're going to get a free deny on this tower. Maybe not. Sand King stuns in with the Blink Dagger, takes the last hit, and then Gyrocopter kills the Rubik. So good attempt there by the Rubik, but gets completely punished for it. Gyrocopter now porting back to this middle lane.
Tower is under attack.
And they continue to farm. There's a lot of farming together going on. Definitely a lot of team farming. Maybe they're going to try and push this tower. They should be feeling pretty confident with the Aegis up on the Faceless Void, as well as all their ultimates up. They know that their team fight has really been showing that it's been stronger in these fights. And that tower goes down pretty easily. Black getting the last hit on his Faceless Void. It's up to 1600 gold. See what he goes for next. Does have the Maelstrom done already, as well as his BKB. So probably expect to see him go for like a Chrysalis and do a Daedalus next. Just to make sure he's hitting hard. And all the heroes from Mouse are in the jungle here. I don't know if they're hoping that someone maybe meanders into the jungle over here and just gets picked off. But they should be in a pretty decent position to just push this tier 2 as well. They didn't have to use anything to get to tier 1. And if 3D don't force some sort of fight here on the tier 2, then they're going to have all their ultimates up to go high ground. And looks like Mouse might just be content to back off. Do have the Aegis, so I'm a little surprised that they're not trying to force something. It's only got about 2.5 minutes left before the Roche reclaim. Gyro up to 4,700 gold. Sitting there thinking, I could buy items, or I could just say, fuck items. I gotta agree with him. You know, items, they're for chumps. He's just gonna save till he has enough money to buy a rapier, buy the rapier. Obviously. A little bit of counter warding going on there with the gem on silent. Oh, the gem is on not on silencer anymore. Oh, it's on Darkseer now. Who was probably a much better gem holder, as he is quite a bit more tanky.
Dire's top tower is
Tankier.
under attack.
That homing missile gonna get killed before it gets there, but Gyro just annihilating waves. Tiny blinks in, does some damage, 4 staffs out. He's trying to show Mouse that he's still here. I'm in this game. We're not just letting you have this tower for free. Even though they're letting them have the tower for free.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Faceless Void coming in. Sand King ults on nothing. And then Time Walk, I think, or yeah, Time Walk stolen by Rubik. Okay. So that was weird, and now it looks like Mouse are thinking about going back. Another stun missed by Alex. Alright, homing missile coming at Tiny. He's gonna get stunned by that. Looks like Black is considering going out, walking up and punching him with his mace. Wants to meet him mace to face. And so Mouse just kind of not doing anything. Using their skills inefficiently, haven't taken advantage of that Aegis at all. About 10 seconds or so left until it gets reclaimed. And just gonna walk back now. Black has his Mask of Madness done. So he's gonna be attacking quite quickly in these fights if he ever actually decides to commit and use his ultimate. See if Gyrocopter's bought anything. No. No, he hasn't. 5,700 gold almost now. Whatever. He's thinking about founding his own bank. I'm missing kills because I'm so worried about Gyrocopter. Right, Hyperstone picked up as well as Plate on Lifestealer, so he's getting pretty close to the Curious. Last hit on that tower, going away with Tiny. It was almost down. And that's the last outer tier tower. For Mouse, I'm not sure why 3D or... Okay, they're going to rotate towards mid. It seemed a little questionable for them to think about trying to push in this top tier 3 when they've had so much trouble against the barracks. And Tiny just going to start punching it? Alright. The ultimate coming out from Vata there. Going to lead to a kill on the Rubik. Blink in from Magnus, but not going to do anything. Tiny getting picked off. Magnus skewers out, but brings the Darkseer with him. He's going to try and port away. His vacuum is on cooldown, so he will be able to port out. So 3D going to be able to retreat after this, but do lose 2 heroes just so that Tiny could punch these melee racks once. So kind of an awkward play. And definitely punished for it. Now Mouse is just going to march straight up mid lane, take this tier 2, and possibly more. Check buybacks. Tiny does have buyback. Can't imagine he's going to buy out until they try and breach high ground, if they try at all. There is no Aegis on Black anymore.
Radiant structures are fortified.
This game is incredibly
Radiant's
weird.
middle tower is under attack.
Both teams are playing like super awkward. Gyro getting that last hit.
Middle tower has
Oh, he
fallen.
bought a full butterfly. Okay. Well, now we know what he wanted. He wanted butterfly, but he didn't want butterfly until he could buy all of butterfly. He didn't want the items that go into it. Full butterfly, no buyback. GG. Yeah, they don't care. He's a gyrocopter. Look at him doing barrel rolls. I'm getting way too focused on this gyrocopter and his incredibly awkward playing. Purchasing. 2,000 gold up on Sanking. He's pretty much the richest on the team at the moment. Oh no, Darkseer up to 3,300 gold. He can afford his Shivas. Looks like he has it coming to him. Does in fact. And smoke coming out from Mouse now in the middle of the Radiant jungle. Looks like all of 3D is hanging out. They just smoke up as well on the dire side of the river. Oh yeah, that gyro yesterday that built all sorts of items, never finished anything. He like rushed Helm of the Dominator too. Well, they're gonna run into each other now. I didn't know Toss went through BKB. Who knew? Looks like they're gonna try and take out Void, but he isn't gonna die. Gets his ultimate off, and now he's gonna punish them, taking out the Tiny as well as the Magnus. Sounds actually getting the last down the Magnus. And a bunch of heroes going down from 3D now. Leshrac gets picked up by the gyrocopter. Rubik actually getting a kill on Sand King, and now trying to run away, but has a whole horde of illusions coming for him. We'll be able to port out though. Unfortunately, Silencer does not have any way to stop that. And now once again, Mouse gonna march up this middle lane. Wouldn't be surprised if after this they just go for Roche, who is about to respawn. The timing of the fight was obvious from both teams trying to set up for the Roche kill, but Mouse does come out ahead, which is unsurprising with the way team fights have been going in this game. And it looks like Mouse is content to just try and go for the high ground here. Tiny buys back. I don't know if it's gonna be enough. They don't have any big ultimates up. And Rubik gonna go down at the beginning of this fight. Tiny trying to do as much damage as he can. It looks like he just killed the Silencer with a big hit. Gem picked up by the Nakes there. Trying to get a kill on this Faceless Void. He's gonna BKB to dodge the stun from the Leshrac on the up high ground, but does get tossed back, taking a lot of damage, gets hit by Tiny. Can't backtrack the big rock fists. And they don't even manage to get that tier 3. I'm really surprised that Mouse went for that instead of just backing off to go get Roshan. Maybe they didn't keep the timer. And didn't realize he was respawning right then. But there is buyback on the Faceless Void. And he will use it. They don't want to lose these barracks now after they spent so long defending it and then keeping them off so that they went from below 100 health all the way back to full. We'll force the buyback from Void. Looks like 3D are rotating towards the Roshan pit. I can't imagine they're actually going to go in there. That seems like a death wish, to be honest. And they do back off. Going to use the Tiny Illusions to scout out a bit. Nakes infests into someone. It looks like it was Magnus. Oh, BKB wasted by Gyrocopter there on the Tiny Illusion. So that's kind of a big deal. They're going to have to probably wait that out. Not sure why he like instantly BKB'd because he saw Tiny, but that was the case. Black continuing the farm. He's up to 500. He's only at 500 gold. So I guess he used everything for buyback. I would have imagined he had a little bit more than that. Oh, the reverse polarity used by Magnus doesn't catch on anything. And that's going to lead to a bunch of kills here. 3D taking a ton of damage, and with that, Mouse really going to be in control of this game now. 4 kills for nothing. Lifestealer running away. Has his AC up, so he's definitely able to outfight this Faceless Void. Void getting demolished. Black goes down. Lifestealer gonna die for this, but What was Black doing? So Mouse went from a very commanding position there to now having their carry dead with no buyback. Hope it was worth it. They are going to still be able to probably push up into the tier 3s.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
No one going to be alive to really stop this. They should be able to get Rex before any of the core heroes are up.
Radiant's middle tower
2 supports are
has
spawning
fallen.
now, but Rubik not really going to be able to
Radiant's
stop
middle
this.
barracks
He
are
could
under
slow it
attack.
down at the cost of his life.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
They will get the melee racks, and it looks like they're just going to be content to back off. 46 intelligence stolen by Silencer now. He's hitting real hard, even though he was just a number 5 in this game. Even has a Ghost Scepter up now. Probably moderately afraid of this Lifestealer who was able to kill his carry. How's Gyro doing on money? He's got a Crystallis as well as 3,600 gold. This Gyro hanging on to a lot of money. Loads of dosh. Saving for buyback, it seems. Which is his buyback? 1,400 gold. He has that much in reliable gold. He can spend all of his money. And 3D now. Going for Roshan. Void is respawn. And you gotta imagine he's running straight there, except that he went to top to farm. Oh, that would be glorious. And so 3D
Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
3D get a free Roshan. Black tries to steal it. It was a little too slow. Gonna get the kill on the Tiny as well as the Lifestealer, but the Lifestealer did have the Aegis picked up. Chronosphere stolen by Rubik, used on Fada as well as Sand King. And then here comes the reverse polarity, gonna lead to a death on this gyrocopter. It looks like not. Lifestealer forced back. This Silencer too strong for him. He's silenced, he's disarmed. He's gonna get stunned by Sand King. Taking a bunch of damage. Gonna use his rage. And Lifestealer goes down. So complete team wipe for 3D once again. This time Faceless Void doesn't die. And that should be pretty much game. There are the tier 2s are up in both the top and bottom lanes, so they can't just
Radiant's
rotate for
middle
another lane of
barracks
Rax.
are under attack.
Seems more likely that they're just gonna go for the tier 4s though.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
No Roshan to do, no other lanes to take.
You have done a great service.
Does Called Down deal damage to towers? Did I just not know that?
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Well, it's just going for GG.
Radiant's ancient is
And
under
should
attack.
be able to get it, I think. There are no ultimates up from 3D. Alex is gonna go down because he was being cheeky near the fountain.
Dire's bottom
I don't think it does either. Why did he ult those towers? Oh, okay. Good ult by Black. Misses the Tiny. They do get the kill anyways, and it's going to lead to a death on the Rubik. GG called by Solo. They're going to take this game.
Radiant's ancient
And it
is
looks
under
like
attack.
Fada gonna go down.
Dire
And the Ancient finally dies. So Mouse gonna take this in an incredibly awkward game. Pretty decent play by them on the turtling, and then almost throwing several times. Just because Black didn't really feel like playing as cautiously as maybe he should have been. But Mouse take it, and that is going to be the end of my casting for the day. That was all the Star Series games for today. I'll be back tomorrow morning. Morning for me, afternoon, evening for you Europeans. With some more games. I don't remember what time it starts. It's probably around 17 CET. Once again, my name is Knaz. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow.